Hello, and welcome to The Beat, a news and talk program brought to you by the Center for Community Media at Worcester State University. I'm your host, Blake Thorne, and today we will be discussing a new Worcester State Foundation program that offers stipends for students participating in experiential learning projects. During this segment, we will speak with Thomas McNamara, Vice President for University Advancement, Dr. Lisa Wark, Professor of Business Administration and Economics, and 3 students who are currently involved in experiential projects. First, we will speak with Thomas McNamara, Vice President for University Advancement at Worcester State University. Thank you for joining us today, Mr. McNamara. We appreciate it a lot. Will you first tell our viewers the mission of the Worcester State Foundation and how it works with the university?
So the foundation itself, its mission is to promote the growth and progress of Worcester State beyond what is possible with state funding. And we have a vision statement that also is inspire generosity and transform lives. The nice part about how it works with Worcester State is it's a separate 501c3. So it's a separate arm really of the university. It has a separate and distinct board that governs the foundation. And primarily its focus is to really do and support the university's priorities. So much of the fundraising that is done. So we try to bring in private dollars to the foundation from our alumni, friends, corporations. That's really the role of the advancement operation. And then those dollars are placed in the foundation. And the foundation board is really, I call them, it's almost like it serves as a bank. It holds the funds, it invests the funds, it distributes the funds. And in that manner, it distributes the funds for purposes such as scholarships, these stipends, different initiatives. The nice part now, I want to make sure I note this about it. The fortunate piece about the foundation is we're not required to help turn on the lights at Worcester State. We don't help with the operations. So the dollars really are geared towards faculty, students, the extras that help make it a special place.
How did the idea for offering experiential learning stipends come about?
Sure, it all started, President Maloney had orchestrated or pulled together under the COVID response task force, different committees on campus. And I was tasked with the external relations committee. And early on in that, and during the pandemic, a lot of our work, and we're a group of faculty, students, and administrators. Early on, a lot of it was connecting the resources of Worcester State with the community and vice versa. And some of the early iterations of that where we donated a lot of paper towels, quite frankly, paper towels and toilet paper, what a commodity at the time. We knew it was priceless. We donated, facilitated the donation of that to the Worcester Senior Center. We helped house through others on campus some of the frontline workers in our dorms early on. And then part of it, as we evolved, the faculty on the committee talked a lot about, and some of the students, about this opportunity to help with experiential learning. And we're then really helping close the gap between some of the dollars that could support our students.
The foundation is offering a $25,000 challenge grant to assist with this program. Will you explain how this challenge grant works?
And again, the idea was, and if you go back where I started, a lot of the dollars are raised really for that purpose of supporting the university and the priorities when they need it most. So this emanated from that committee in such that right now, what our students are going through, and you're a great example of trying to, and maybe working through an experiential learning, either it's a teaching practicum, an unpaid internship, providing dollars to them now when they need it most. Because some of the students may not be able to be engaged in some of that opportunities of work. And quite directly, when the foundation stepped up to provide the $25,000 from those fundraised dollars, our idea is we'd want to leverage that and really seek a dollar for dollar match from our philanthropic community. So we're really going to be launching that next semester and hoping that our alumni, friends, corporations can help provide those funds, dollar for dollar match.
Why is a program like this important for students, especially during the ongoing pandemic?
The example that I try to provide is I think a lot of the students in general, and again, you're one, so you could certainly answer this probably better than I, but I've been hearing from a lot of the students, they weren't able to even do the full-time or part-time jobs that they were previously had, be it a waitress, waiter, doing different things and making those dollars and coming to school to make the ends meet.
Yeah.
Couple that with having an opportunity to do an experiential learning opportunity, that probably takes them away from the chance of working. So it's you need it. It's wonderful. It helps their education. It helps them in getting that job. But it also it gives them less time to go out and make potentially some money doing another job, help pay for tuition or just pay for the needs. So the idea came, now is the opportunity to try to put some dollars in students' hands, and that's where it really was born.
Can you tell us about some of the other scholarship and grant opportunities that the Worcester State Foundation offers?
Happy to do that. Again, as it serves like a bank and has the different committees that are connected to it, one area we try to support is undergraduate student research. The foundation provides $20,000 per year to each of the schools for students engaged in research opportunities. That's then on display at the Scholarship and Creativity event each spring. So we try to provide dollars for that. The students can apply and submit their work and get some dollars to help them pull together that type of research. Certainly one of our main components is scholarships. So about 70% of our endowment is restricted for scholarship aid, and many of the donors have provided scholarships, named scholarships that students can actually apply for. So every January, we open up the portal to students to apply for these awards. Last year, we gave out over 300 individual scholarships. And I always note it's free money. It doesn't have to be paid back. There's different criteria, some for certain programs or departments, but across the board, I'm happy to say, I think that's one when the foundation was created, goes back to 1998, we only provided $15,000 of scholarship aid. And last year, we were able to provide almost $600,000 of scholarship aid. So we're hoping that students take advantage of that and we connect them with our donors. We also support the Academic Achievement Awards through the end of the year. So usually that's in the senior year. Students that have excelled are selected by the faculty, and those awards are underwritten by the foundation. So we try to spread the wealth as much as we can and help students and faculty.
Would you like to add anything else, Mr. McNamara?
I really appreciate the time. Love to talk about the foundation, and hopefully we can continue to generate more funds for the students.
Our next guest is Queen Nguyen. She will be discussing her organic chemistry video project. Thank you for joining us today, Han. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Thank you for having me.
So we're going to start it off with a little bit about yourself, such as your academic year and your major area of study.
Yeah, so I'm currently a senior. I majors in chemistry and also minor in music.
Wow.
Yes.
That's very interesting. So we would love to know more about your experiential learning project that you're involved in. Would you like to tell us a little bit more about your project?
Yes, so our project started in October, so I working with other member and Dr. Sue to record organic experiments for students to watch at home. So we're gonna record, we are recording the organic videos that are taught in like organic lab course. So this is our projects begin when the COVID case began to rise, and then our professor worried that the school will shut down, so students cannot come to lab to study. So he tried several options, like maybe ordering the experimental kits for students to work on the reaction at home. But then those options were too expensive, and then it wasn't feasible. Like it was just not like provide enough knowledge for students. So we began to record videos so students who miss school in quarantine can watch them. And then we usually release the video ahead of the class so students can watch them before class and prepare. This also helps students with special needs or students who were visual learners as well.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for helping all the other students here.
Yes.
So are you working alone or with anyone else in the project? And how does your collaboration work?
Yeah, so we have a team. So our team originally were the research group of Dr. Sue. So we just sort of get together. So our team includes Emily Doran. She is a chemistry major and also a public health major. She worked on narrating the video, so all her voice is in the video. And then we also have Như. She is the model, so she will carry out the experiments. And I will be sort of like producing the video, like setting up the cameras, editing them, and then uploading them for like to a host like YouTube for students to watch.
Pretty much about the same stuff we do here.
Yes.
So, how do you feel this project contributes to your academic experience at Worcester State?
Well, the first thing I learned is that like teamwork and time management, because we need, the deadline is like 1 video per week, so we need to work like efficiently and precise, so I don't have to keep like rendering the videos, which take a lot of time. And then I also learned more about the organic mechanisms behind the lab, because like even though I learned it before, right now I need to like have a deeper understanding so I can explain them to the students. So it's sort of like the best way to study is to explain it to other people. And I also learned more about like video productions. Like I don't have a formal education in video editing, but then now I learn about like color grading or like setting up the cameras or like make the videos like dynamic, so students won't getting bored when watching the video.
That's awesome. It offers an array of knowledge.
Yes.
Is there anything else that you would like to add, Han?
Well, I would like to thank the Worcester State Foundation for supporting the projects. Like we really enjoy doing this, but then we also need support to like, because we do need like, because we have to like squeeze our research time to do this project. So I do know like other team member, like even though they are busy, they still focus on this project because they know that it will help people. So I want to thank Worcester Foundation for supporting us.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Han. We appreciate it a lot. We appreciate your time as well, too.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Now we will speak to Michaelas Rodriguez about his work with the Southeast Asian Coalition. Thank you for joining us today, Michaelas. We appreciate it a lot.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem at all. So the first question of the day is, can you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself, such as your academic year and major?
So I am a senior here at Worcester State University, obviously, and I am a sociology major.
Awesome, awesome. So we would love to know a little bit more about your experiential learning project that you're involved in. So what is your project about?
So I have an internship with the Southeast Asian Coalition, and the project was broken into 2 parts. They had their community outreach portion and then their youth program portion. I was majorly involved in the community outreach, which was during the pandemic, giving or helping families with access to like food and other resources. So the majority of what I've been doing is gathering like PPE supplies, kits, and then delivering them to different places. It could be either families or organizations. And also food as well. We started a food pantry around the beginning of the pandemic, and we've been running it since March, I believe. And 2 other programs as well, which is like delivering hot food on Mondays to like elderly clients, and also farmers market groceries that we would get for certain families and then deliver it to them. And these families were elderly. It could be low-income families, and also COVID-positive families, but those deliveries were no contact.
That's amazing. So are you working with anyone else in this project? If so, how does your collaboration work?
So I'm working with, so the Southeast Asian Coalition actually they have a small staff. I think they have four full-time members, full-time staff, and a group of volunteers. And so I've been working with the community outreach manager. His name is Boa Newgate. And one of the volunteers, Aisha, and essentially what we do is we gather like the list of families or people that we have to deliver to for the week. We find out whether they need food or if it's PPE, sometimes it's both. And we'll split up the list that week and we'll gather the supplies, gather all the food, and then also make those deliveries near the end of the week. But it's mostly, BOA, who works with the Southeast Asian Coalition, and the other staff that kind of gather the list and compile all the things and make the programs that we're doing now. And so it really wouldn't be possible without them. They do like the brunt of the work.
Yeah, teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah.
So how do you feel this project contributes to your academic experience at Worcester State?
Oh man, that's a good question. Usually when I speak to other people, I always tell them that this experience has definitely like changed my life. One of the things that have made my college experience worthwhile is learning how to help people. I know that a lot of people often say that they want to help people, but what's really hard is actually finding out how you're going to help them. And so finding that is life-changing. And so it's helped me kind of craft a clear vision of what I want to do in the future. And that's because, working with my friends or the organization who's now my friends and serving other people, it kind of shows you that it's always amazing to give back. And there's always a greater need. And there's not often many people that will sign themselves up to fill that need. And these are things, that I learned from them. So I'm so thankful for it. And it's absolutely contributed to what I'm doing, because part of it is motivating me to finish school and to also, continue possibly for grad school in the future as well.
That's awesome. Is there anything else that you would like to add, Michaelas?
I just want to say that, the Southeast Asian Coalition, they are so phenomenal. Like, they're a small organization, but they're so mighty in works. They do so much. And they're all truly amazing people. It doesn't necessarily feel like the stuff that we do is work, because when we get together, we enjoy our time together, and it's something that we actually enjoy doing for other people. And I'm so blessed for them, and they're amazing.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Michaelas. We appreciate it a lot.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
No problem at all. Our last guest student is Julia Cannell. She's working with the Commissioner of Worcester State Health and Human Services in Worcester to write a report that recommends further action to address racism as a public health crisis. Thank you for joining us today, Julia. We appreciate it a lot.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem at all. It's a pleasure. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself, such as your academic year and your major area of study?
I'm currently a senior at Worcester State University, and I'm majoring in English with concentrations in both writing and journalism.
So we would love to know a little bit more about your experiential learning project that you're involved in. So what's your project about?
So for this semester, I've been working with the Department of Human and Health Services of Worcester, specifically with Dr. Castile, who's a Commissioner of Health and Human Services, to address racism as a public health crisis here in Worcester. So the project focuses on writing a formal report that offers strategies and recommendations for the Worcester City Council to take in light of their declaration of racism as a public health crisis. This past June, the City Council declared racism as a public health crisis in Worcester in the Resolution 13A. And this report kind of springboards off of that and allows for different actions to be taken and offers strategies based on recent and past anti-racism efforts, as well as future policies, ordinances, and committees that could be created to further benefit the residents of the city and to address this issue.
Are you working on this project with anyone else, and how does the collaboration work?
It's a very highly collaborative process. I've been writing this report with members of the Department of Health and Human Services, including Dr. Castile, Kelsey Hopkins, and Domenica Perone. I've also been working with the Coalition for Healthy Greater Worcester. So we've been having bi-weekly Zoom meetings to collaborate on the writing, the content of the report, the revision process, and kind of going back and forth about the rhetorical framing and context given coronavirus pandemic that we can incorporate within the report to make it more centered towards the audience of the City Council. And I've also been working with Dr. Jamie Remillard, who is with the WSU English department, and she's been offering invaluable expertise on science writing and how to best frame the report in the most effective way. So we've been communicating with Zoom, email, comment feature function, and just frequent conversations about how to best maximize the efficiency of the report.
So how do you feel this project contributes to your academic experience at Worcester State?
This project and internship in general has really expanded on my academic experience at Worcester State because it's taken concepts that I've learned in fundamental classes such as technical writing and professional writing, so concepts such as document design, audience analysis research and such, and kind of expanded on it in a real world project that has high stakes and important for many people in the city. And also just learning how to collaborate with other professionals and use terminology like rhetorical framing and kind of work together, especially with the remote circumstances. It really takes what I've learned in a classroom and just expanded on it, and it helped prepare me for future careers to communicate and just be a part of a professional surrounding and setting. So it really has taken the interest that I've had in technical and professional writing and what I've learned about, and just really put it in a real world context that has helped me to understand all about the field. So it's been very valuable.
That's great. That's great. Is there anything else that you would like to add, Julia?
Just that I've been working with some really great people at the Department of Health and Human Services who have taught me how writing can really impact people's lives. And the great and supportive faculty at WSU has helped me with this internship. So thank you so much for having me today.
Finally, we will speak with Dr. Lisa Wark, Professor of Business Administration and Economics. How's it going, Dr. Wark?
Good, Blake. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very good. Thank you for joining us today. So, will you tell us your title and position at Worcester State University, please?
Yeah, I'm a professor of business and economics and in the business and economics department, and I'm also the graduate coordinator of our Master of Science in Management program.
So, how long have you been involved with the Foundation's Experiential Learning Stipend program?
This stipend actually has just started really kind of growing into its own this fall. I actually started off by being part of the External Relations Committee. When COVID-19 came in, faculty, staff, administrators all had the opportunity to participate in a lot of different committees on campus to kind of see what we can do to respond to the crisis. And what was nice about the External Relations Committee is that we were able to kind of continue after the initial crisis and to think about ways that we could transition through the crisis and then move forward. So the experiential learning stipends are one of the initiatives that we started this fall, but we're hoping that we can continue them in the future because it's something that's really important to students.
So, why do you think it's important for students to become involved in experiential learning programs?
Well, I think it's a really great way for students to kind of put into practice with a hands-on ability what they're learning in the classroom. To kind of really do a test drive of some of their career paths and career options. What's great, whether you do an internship or a project, or some students do student teaching or practicum, is that you get to kind of really try it out. Is it for me? Is this something that I'd like to do, or is it one aspect that I like better than the other? So I think it's really a great way to kind of get a jump start on your career path. It's also a great resume builder because not all of us are straight A students, myself included. So it's a nice way for us to really be able to engage. It's also a nice way for students to network. One of the good things about the Worcester area community is that they really want to hire Worcester State students. And for a lot of our students do stay local. So for experiential learning, especially in the local area, this gives the local community a chance to see how great and bright and engaging our students are. So it's a nice win-win scenario for students, but it also gives kind of the kind of hidden gem that Worcester State is with our students. So that the community can really see how wonderful all of these students are.
Yeah, that's awesome. So as a faculty member that is donated to the program, why should others consider donating to this fund or other scholarship funds that benefit students?
I've sponsored internships, and internships are one type of experiential learning, and also different projects. I've done that for years, and I've seen firsthand what a great experience it is and what a terrific opportunity it is for students to make connections and start on a really great path for their careers. So I want to put my dollars in an investment. I teach finance, so I often think about investments on a return on investments and as a percentage of what you put in. So one of the things that people can do, whether they're a faculty, a student, staff, administrator, or friends, is if they invest in one of these funds, they're investing in a student. And that's investing in our future, our collective future. And I can't think of a better return on investment than invest in you guys in terms of the opportunity. I also think that many of us had people give us assistance and kind of handed a hand forward or a leg up, as you might think about it, as we've gone along the way. And if we can provide that to our students, it opens doors that we may not have seen open. And that's something that I had people open them for me. And if I can do that, perfect. And I've now got to the point where I've had students who returned now provide interns to other Worcester State students. And paying it forward is a great way of investing not only in who's at Worcester State now, but who may be there in the future. So I think it's a wise way of me really investing in the future. And I can't think of, as I said, a better return than the return on what we get in terms of all of you being successful with experiential learning.
Is there anything that you would like to add, Dr. Wark?
You know, I just think that there's so many opportunities out there that I want students to understand that please try to take advantage of them. These opportunities are for people for opportunities that are unpaid. And a lot of times students don't take advantage of these because they often have to work. So by knowing that there may be a stipend available, this may help them cushion the blow financially to take advantage of these. And for those people who are thinking about being potential donors, note that you might be really helping a student take advantage of an opportunity that he or she might not have been able to do without your generosity. And any amount helps in terms of the funds that we can give. So please think about the opportunities and give generously is what I can tell the people. I never, ever hesitate about giving any type of option to our students.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wark. On behalf of all Worcester State students, I want to thank you for just helping us out as a whole.
Oh, no problem at all. My pleasure.
And thank you very much for joining us here today a lot. We appreciate it. Thank you for watching this segment of The Beat. Please remember to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. We will see you next time.